Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Citizen the platform where we speak truth to power. This evening, I'm back again. Please help us. We're going to be doing a swim, 3,000-meter swim on the 22nd of August, 2 to 4 p.m. We've got the bank account number there to support us. I'll come back and do a proper promotion for this event. We want to raise funds for Yoruba Nation. In helping in doing what we need to do on our platform, with Oduduwa TV Radio and others, and people on ground in Nigeria to be able to get things going. We need T-shirts, walkie-talkies, get our radio station going, so many other things. Anyway, here goes. Now, to that end, I want you to do something. The aim of this short video is to demystify any ideas we have about the military. The aim, this is a conclusive breakdown of the fraudulence, the fraudulence that we have in Nigeria. The constitution, those military men who are involved in imposing a decree on us, here is their thought process in a nutshell. I want you to understand that the military men who impose the constitution on us, here is the thought process, here is the level of their thinking. The very, very reduced level of it, and it's deliberately so. But I want to show you something. Here goes. And I'll buttress it with one more other point. Actually, I wasn't going to, but now that I see that, I am actually going to forward that as well. Here we go. So you will see that come up as well, and I'll read through that. I'll read through that as well. Now, there is this book here called The Nigerian Military, a sociological analysis of authority and revolt, 1960 to 67, by someone called Robin Lockham. And then the future enough, it shows Nigeria, it shows us in a really, really, we are no better than that's the mentality that they perceive us to be. And we are reverting to type by doing what they do, what they said. Now, here's something I want to show you. I want you to look at this from that same book. Let me just, before I go ahead, from that same book, you can get a copy of it, and I'll see if I can get a copy myself. Now, I want you to read page 96. You can see it says page 96 there. It says here, the Nigerian Army composition and structure. Then it says, on the whole, as well qualified as the British conferees. But this is not saying much. For the academic standard of Sandhurst and the equivalent academics in other countries where Nigeria, Ethiopia, Pakistan, and India is below university level. So where Nigerians are trained, in brackets, Ethiopia, Pakistan, and India, it is below university level. An officer may emerge from Sandhurst with much social confidence and some skill as a tactical leader, but he is unlikely to have, here's the next one, a high level of comprehension of major political and social issues of the day, still less the months trained officers, whose training consists entirely of skills of tactical leadership with minimum educational content. Comparative educational level of Nigerian elite groups in percentages. Now, the reason I'm showing you that is this. These are the men who becomes generals. The generals that you see now, they weren't trained to have those skills. I'm showing you again. They were not, the British deliberately did not, they ensured they didn't have those skills. That their job was to make sure that they were only having social skills. It says so. It says so. I'll read it to you again. On the whole, as well qualified as British conferees, but this is not saying much, for the academic standard of Sandhurst and the equivalent academies in other countries where Nigerians are trained, in brackets, Ethiopia, Pakistan, and India, is below university level. An officer may emerge from Sandhurst with much social confidence and some skills as a tactical leader, but he is unlikely to have a high level of comprehension of major political and social issues of the day, still less the months-trained officers whose training consists entirely of the skills of tactical leadership and with minimal educational content. Did you understand? Did you hear that? It's minimal educational content. These are the people who are imposing the Constitution on you and I. The likes of, let's get his name out, General Abdul Salam. Let's have a look. Right? General Abdul Salam. Yeah? So this is the man. Let's go back. That's General Abdul Salam. See, Master General, that he is. Don't, sorry. No, that's nonsense. I don't want that. That is him. That's him there. You see? Forget, this is him. These are the level of people. And his skill is no better than what I showed you minutes ago. His skills are no better than just social, you know, sorry, let me go back again. Oh, sorry about this. So you see, it says here, on the whole, as well qualified as the British conference, but this is not saying much for the academic standard of Sandhurst and equivalent academies in other countries where Nigerians are trained. You see, specifically Nigeria, Ethiopia, Pakistan, and India is below university level. They said it. It is below university level. An officer may emerge from Sandhurst with much social confidence and some skill as a tactical leader, but is unlikely to have a high level of comprehension of major political and social issues of the day. This man, who's a military man, that's all. He has no educational comprehension of socio-political issues of the day. He has no comprehension of it. Social, political, and social issues of the day. He has no comprehension. All he knows is about military. But it's the same man who imposed the 1999 Constitution on you and I. Are you seeing? Can you see? Can you see that is meant to be a failure? They haven't got the skills. Their skills should be protecting the borders of Nigeria. And they'll be good at that, no doubt. But they're no good in anything to do with political and social issues. They have no skill in that area. They weren't trained in that area. So when they impose themselves on us, it's by decree. I've got the weapon. I'm going to impose my will on you. This is nothing to do with politics. This is pure force of the military might against their own people. This is what they used. Yes, this man here. That is why they put in the Provisional Ruling Council, which I'm going to bring to you again. I will bring that. But I want you to read something else. I want you to read something else which I saw just now. So I just wanted to touch on this. This is why fundamentally our constitution is flawed. The very point I'm making here. Military men taking political decisions back in 1999 has now cost us a number of generations has been held back in their development because they have not gone to comprehension. The book says it. Go and read the book. Don't take my word for it. I've showed you the book once again. Let's go back into the book. That's the book, The Nigerian Military, Sociological Analysis of Authority and Revolt, 1960 to 67, Robin Lockham. Now, so to go back in, now, I'm doing this because I want you to see this information. I want you to read it yourself. I don't just believe in talking. I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you evidence to why I'm telling you categorically the Nigerian Constitution must be dismantled. We need to break away. These people, they will never change. The Fulanis have an agenda. They believe in this Madam Fodio idea. Those people, they were sent forward. They used them. They said, okay, fine, we'll use the military to get the land. They pursued their own aims. They didn't care. They were not interested in understanding they needed a goal. And this was going to give them the base to do it, which is the military. So they went to the military, and now what? They're controlling the whole nation. They haven't got the mental capacity to put in a constitution that would cater for people. The constitution they put in was to achieve a sole aim of Fulanization of Nigeria. That is why we must dismantle contraption Nigeria. Now, I want you to read something more, much further. Let me see. No. Okay, now, I'm going to read this one. You see, furthermore, I want to read something to you. There's a book by Umau Eliazu, The Role of the Army in African Politics, Reconsideration of Existing Theories and Practice. I want to just read, it just gives you an insight into what is really happening. Because it's not only in Nigeria this is happening. There are military. These are all across Africa doing the same thing. And they are all designed that way by the colonials. It's designed that way. I'm just giving you a broader picture so they can understand how this contraption Nigeria fits into the overall picture of Africa and what's going on in Africa right now. When they talk about wars happening between the Arabs and all of that, these kind of things that they put in the military, they are always in control, and it suits the benefits of the colonials. That's not to say that we shouldn't take action. That's why we're trying to change the narrative now. That's why we're bringing in this information that we're giving you now. Let's read this now. It says here, among the many problems that face African nations, the worst consists of the unrecognized and often disguised consequences, intended and unintended, of the policies of foreign powers toward them. Nowhere is this problem more obvious than the area of military assistance programs and their effects on civilian-military relations. Without such programs, it is unlikely that African nations would still have manifested political instability, which is to be expected in societies undergoing rapid economic and social change, but unlikely that such instability would have prevented normal political development from arising out of trial and error with the different modes of conflict resolutions. The efforts of the big powers, especially United States and her Western allies, to try to hasten development in the direction of freedom rather than tyranny, has in contrast been largely counterproductive. Not only are many African countries farther from freedom, even in the Western sense, but the feeling is developing in some African quarters that perhaps Western policies are intended to produce just that, the kind of political situations dominated by a particular type of elite that will enhance the maximization of neo-colonial interest in Africa, irrespective of the interests and aspirations of common African people. After the spate of coups in the form of military interventions in politics in 1900s, Western political scientists and analysts were alerted. So, anyway, that's a bigger story. Uma Eliazu. I will read that. I'm going to try and get that book. This is something that is painting a broader picture of what is happening across Africa. But of course, I'm going to move back. I want to roll back to our own key area of interest, which is that contraction called Nigeria. We need to take the responsibility as people. We're not going to wait. We're not going to wait for, we shouldn't be waiting for anybody telling us what's going to happen and all of that. We shouldn't be waiting. We should not be waiting for any of that. We shouldn't. And I don't want us to be waiting and thinking, oh, somebody did or whatever. We should not be doing that. What we want to do is to make sure that we are, this information here is shared and you are all aware of it. These are important information. It says the Nigerian Army composition and structure on the whole as well qualified as the British Conference, but this is not saying much, as the academic standard of Santos and equivalent academics in other countries where Nigerians are trained, in brackets Ethiopia, Pakistan and India, is below university level. An officer may emerge from Sandhurst with much social confidence and some tactical leader, but he's unlikely to have a high level of comprehension of the major political and social issues of the day. Still less most trained officers whose training consists entirely of tactical skills, of tactical leadership with minimal educational content. So that's what we're suffering from. You know, Britain had their own ideas and they wanted to exploit whatever. And again, you can see I've linked it down to the whole the whole of Africa and what is really happening. But what I'm trying to tell you is, at the end of the day, we the people, we know better now, as Yorubas, as Biafrans. That's why we need to break up that contraption. That contraption is really a slave camp, and the evidence I'm giving you. That's why this man here was able to impose on us with his so-called provisional ruling council. That's why, and that's how all his new looks now. You know, all of that they're trying to say is an elder statesman. This man is nothing but a military man that imposed injustice on the people, and they're now trying to say, "Oh, Alaji this, Alaji." No, we don't want any part of this nonsense. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this is giving you a bit of insight into what is driving, what is happening. The people who impose the constitution on us are military men. They have no social or educational skills, a skill set to be able to do what they said they would do. All along, they had an agenda which they completed, and that was it. They weren't interested in anything else but fulfilling their own agenda, using, quote unquote, constitution, which in actual fact was a decree. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this makes sense to you. Please share this broadcast if it resonates with you. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. Thank you and goodbye.